Yeah, I'm back, in my bag, straight facts. Came to bring the hits, nigga. Straight facts, straight. Tryna hit the Forbes list, straight facts.
Oh man, welcome back to another episode of the Flagrant Two with X and Lou. If you haven't done so already, please hit our YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be tuned into all of our newest videos. We're back after a little all-star break.
Had to take one too, you feel me?
Yeah. Sometimes media needs a little break too. Sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when you're the problem. You know, media, we the problem, so we need to break. We could come up with some scripts and some stories, you know, break these teams apart.
First of all, before we get into All-Star Weekend, before we get into all of that, there's a report that was not even a report. Doc was doing an interview, and basically he was asked about him becoming a Milwaukee coach, and he told Milwaukee brass, I don't even know why you're doing this. Like, why are you going to fire him?
Why?
So I have two takes before I let you get into it. First take is, if that was your question, then why did you take the job? That's like a girl, like she looks really good and she's kissing you and you're like, stop. But you don't want her to stop?
Like, no. I mean,
right?
I don't know if it happens to guys, but you know.
I just don't get it. Why take the job if that's how you really truly felt? Secondly, why take the job if that's how you really truly like? I just don't get it. Like that whole interaction, like that whole interview was weird to me. First of all, it was mad weird, and then secondly, it was just like why even say it? Like if I'm Milwaukee brass, I have to be questioning myself too. Like is this how you really feel? Like why do we fire it? Why do we hire him then?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, he was on like we said, he was a part of the, you know, the consulting with the coach. So it's like they were still probably getting the mojo and getting things going. So it's like it's a weird, even for us, we always sitting here like, yeah, they're still number one. I understand they want some change, they want somebody, you know, they feel, but y'all are still showing some good progress.
Yeah.
So for us, we all sitting here wondering, like, yo, that was kind of weird just to fire a coach who was about to be the all-star coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like he has a reason to be like, yeah, this is weird. Why would you fire him? But at the end of the day, as a coach and as somebody who wants to get paid, he still has that itch to coach. Like, you think he's not on the sideline thinking about coaching? He's not doing this, that, and the third, thinking about coaching. So any job that probably popped up, I don't care what you say. If he ain't taking somebody else with her.
Yeah, but if you had a problem, if you felt like they shouldn't have went in that direction, they shouldn't have fired him. Like, you should have advocated for his job instead of being like, I don't think you should fire him, but I'll take the job.
But the thing about it, they called him after you seen the end of. Only seen the clip, and he said, "Well, we already did it." So it's like,
I see the full.
It's like the fact. It's the fact he said, "Yo, well, we already did it." So it's like, okay, yeah, you might be right. So you know what? I'll take the job. I was itching to coach anyway, because you know, being a broadcaster, he wasn't saying it.
No,
you know what I mean? He wasn't into that life like that. He just took the pay. But
are you okay with JJ's comments though about Doc? Because I mean, if anybody has a introspective over his coaching, it would be JJ.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I just heard the rebuttal from his son. I heard it actually, but I don't really remember exactly what JJ said.
Well, JJ was basically like, he's a coach that doesn't take accountability and that he doesn't have real success. I mean, all things that we all think are true.
But that's a whole fact, and they probably don't want to hear it from nationwide television source. But it's just like, at the end of the day, that is kind of true. Like he's always throwing people under the bus. And it's just like, come on. All right, cool. You work, you know what I mean? I give Doc his props. You know, when he was younger and stuff, he did do fantastic. But it's just like, yo, we just running off of that one championship.
That one championship.
Where you had like 4 fantastic players.
Yeah.
So it's just like you could have probably put those guys out there with whoever. It could have been Stan Van Gundy out there. They probably would have won still.
Stan Van
Gundy.
Stan Van Gundy's an underrated coach, bro.
And that's what I was about to say. Stan Van Gundy is a fantastic coach. So guess you don't think they could have won with him there too?
Oh, no, they would have won. They would have won them couple of
them. Exactly. So it's like, yo, as long as you would have put a coach who's competent right there, so they got the guys together, could have won. So it's like we running on that one ring, and it's just like, yo, we got to see what he's done, what he's gonna do, and what has he done for anybody lately? Get fired.
Off the over tangent real quick. The reason why I say Stan Van Gundy is underrated because he invented small ball. The small ball lineups and all that with the Magic, Turkoglu,
that 4-man,
Rasheed Lewis, all them, or Rashard Lewis. But he invented before the Warriors kind of, revolutionized it. He invented it, like small ball. That was him. That was all Stan Van Gundy.
And guess who was there too?
Steve Kerr.
No, JJ.
Oh yeah, right. No, but JJ there at that time.
JJ was there with Dwight Howard,
Dwight and Turkoglu.
Yeah, it was JJ.
Oh well, there you go.
See how I did? You see how I did
that? There you go. It's a connection here. I like that. I like how you did that. Chestnut check. But nah, I mean, all jokes aside though, I saw the rebuttal from. I didn't see the rebuttal from Austin Rivers. I saw the rebuttal from Pat Bev. Where Pat was basically
I didn't see that one yet. I was about to listen to
Pat
that too.
Basically was saying that he shouldn't be talking about the coach that basically allowed him to start in the league because that was when he was in the Clippers. But the thing is, it's like I think that JJ thrived in any role that he was in. JJ he was a spot up shooter. He was a really good spot up shooter. So at the end of the day, whether he was coming off the bench or he was starting, he would have excelled in both roles. So I really don't feel like Pat Bev kind of had any grounds to stand on. I think he was just sticking up for his coach, which is all fine. But it's like this is your first time ever playing for Doc. JJ played for him for like 5-6 seasons in LA. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of emotion if JJ is speaking on it. Rather than hearing a rebuttal from Pat. So I don't really take too much stock in what Pat says. Now, Austin, on the other hand, I can't really take stock into what he's saying.
That's him defending his pop.
My dad, bro, right or wrong, like that's my pops. Like I'm not gonna let you, just walk all over my pops. Go crazy about my pops. You know what I'm saying? Even if I believe it's true, because I'm pretty sure deep down Austin feels that way too. Come on, because you play for your dad. You know
what he's like.
Your dad threw you under the bus before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, it's like what JJ said is not untrue. And just because you don't want to believe that it's true doesn't make it untrue. It is what it is. This is, and we have like 10 to 15 seasons worth of evidence to kind of point the finger and say, well, Doc hasn't taken accountability. Well, why did we lose in the finals? Because Ray Allen didn't hit a shot. Yeah, they
think about it. Yeah, we even think about it. It's always like that. Like even because I just thought about the Philadelphia. He just said Harden was uncoachable. Yeah, and then now Harden's on the Clippers with Ty Lue, another great coach, a great coach. Great coach. And guess what? He's looking like the man.
Talk about it.
So it's like, Hey, it is what it is, bro. At the end of the day, Doc, we feel the same way as JJ. And
I
you can
definitely
hate it all you want. I ain't nobody, so but you know, I got the mic right now, so I'm gonna say what I say.
yeah.
We all
And,
feel the type of way about you. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
think you're a good coach. Obviously, you're a good coach. You're not as great as
I don't think
like
he's a
your
great
son
coach.
is
I
trying to
think
put
he's a
you out
competent
there to
coach.
be.
He's a good coach.
Yeah,
Competent.
but it's just like we talk about championship coaches. Like, come on, I don't
Yeah,
think you're
I'm
really
not.
one
I'm
of
not
them.
putting him. I'm not putting him in the upper echelon with
Yeah.
you know, with the Phil Jacksons and the Steve Kerrs, the Popoviches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting him in that kind of echelon.
Nah,
You know,
and it's just
the Eric
like, and
Spoelstra's. I'm not putting him in.
exactly, like, and it's like I understand you got a mic in front of you, you could talk, and you in this day and age where now media moves faster, so you could say your piece now as opposed to like when you was with other teams and things. You know what I mean? Things was a little more like they'll fire you ASAP or do something. You know what I mean? What?
JJ Redick slams Pat Bev. Luckily, the cameras in the arena have better eyes than you. 289 half court matchups, 21 for 56 shooting by Harden as contesting defender, 37.5% field goal percentage, 42.9% effective field goal percentage, 0.94 points per direct ISO allowed on 37 isolations. I guess that's getting torched. He pulled up all his receipts on, I guess, because Pat Bev said that JJ Redick wouldn't
Yeah,
do anything
was getting
without
torched by
having
Harden.
that start. Right,
Yeah,
and that's crazy. That's crazy how you could just pull up these stats. Like
I mean, you know, JJ got people, so you know. Well, you got people. He got a whole host.
yeah,
He got a whole show, a whole
you
company. So
got
you
a
know he got
you got
people
a
like, yo,
whole
I need you
room.
to pull up these stats, and they
Yeah,
went
you
and
got a
did it.
whole
You
room.
feel me?
You got a whole
He's
room
not
full of
looking up himself. If you had me to look it up, I'll just say, you know what? I don't know. But he got
yeah,
people for that.
that's crazy.
So, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, JJ, we know you're not a defender.
Yeah, he's not a defender,
So
but I
like,
mean, he was an elite scorer.
you just be competent. Yeah,
He
exactly.
was an
So it's
elite
like,
spot up scorer. Like that's
but it's
basically
just
what
like,
JJ role was.
yeah, it's like at the end of the day, like Pat Bev was, because I've read that part of it in the caption talking about like how hard it was torturing him and whatnot. I'm like, at the end of the day, he's not a defender.
He's
So
not. He never even
you talk
classified
about
as
he couldn't have been, yeah, you talk about he couldn't have been in that clutch times because of his defense. He would, you know, at that time, and now even during this time of basketball, you got offense defense rotations
yeah,
in the
facts.
fourth quarter, and he
So
was
he
on
would
the
have been
offensive
on the
side,
offense.
and Pat Bev, you was on the defensive side.
Exactly. So because when they're
Like,
stopping out on the offense, I'm subbing in JJ. JJ Redick is our best 3-point shooter, and he's our best free throw shooter. Why wouldn't I sub him in on the offense?
yeah.
In
So
the
it's like in the
last
fourth
minutes?
quarter. Yeah, if it's the fourth quarter, like, all right, cool, your defense ain't it. But well, when we get to a certain point where we need you in the fourth, we're gonna put you in that last second shot. We need you in there. Like
Facts.
at just certain times, like, come on, bro. Like, we all know what it is. We all know the archetypes. You can't shade him for not being in at that time. There's a lot of great shooters who wasn't in the fourth
Facts.
quarter because their defense isn't there for that. Like, come
Facts.
on.
I mean, look at
You
Steph. How
shading
many
the
times
whole
has Steph
archetype.
been subbed out on the defensive side
Yeah.
or defender like
Guess what?
a Gary
Guess who
Payton
they
Jr.?
putting? Gary Payton. Exactly.
Thank
That's
you.
exactly who they pinning for him for that
Thank
part of the games. Like, come
But as
on.
soon as it's switching over to offense, and we can get that timeout, we can get that substitution.
We
Steph is
switching
back on
stuff
the
right
court.
in.
So
So
yeah, I don't take any stock in that. I mean, I love Pat. I love the fiery nature he has, but sometimes it's like when you talk. What does Shaq say? You don't have G5 classification.
you're not G5
You know what I'm saying?
classified.
You
So it's
don't
just
got the
like,
certification to make those type of statements, you know. But
yeah.
let's move on. I like this rivalry that's starting to bud between Indiana and Milwaukee. The Dame versus Hallie. Now, there's a little controversy going on. They're saying that Hallie should have won MVP. And I think I'm in that kind of classification because of
Yeah. Winning
Hallie.
team type of stuff.
Right. But they was both on the same team. I'm not mad at Dame getting it. But
Oh, he is East now. Why did I think of West? My
yeah,
bad.
like,
Yeah,
they went back to the old format, East
I'm
versus West.
tripping. Yeah. I
But
forgot.
I
I'm
still
sorry.
feel like Hallie, they was in Indiana. Hallie put on a show. I mean, he was like 10 for
Yeah,
14 for 3. Like he
he was
was
going
he
crazy.
was gunning. You know what I'm saying? And he still ended up with just as much points as Dame on more efficient shooting.
Yeah,
I mean, well, it's an all-star. Of course, every shot should
yeah.
be
Shooting
efficient.
don't really. Yeah, it ain't gonna
But
really
at the
be
end of the
best
day,
shooting.
like we're in Indiana. I put up these numbers. Who's the last person other than Curry to make 10 threes in an all-star game?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
tough to me. So, but I like it. I like the fact that these are because Indiana and Milwaukee. Where's Milwaukee? Milwaukee's not a state, right? It's a city, isn't it?
yeah.
Where's Milwaukee?
Everywhere. All of them is cities though.
Well, Indiana is in Indianapolis,
Yeah,
and
Indiana's in
Milwaukee is in
Indianapolis.
Wisconsin. No,
Everything is a city though.
no,
It's
no. But I'm saying, but they're side by side states. Indiana
oh, you're
and
talking about
Indianapolis is side
you
by
talking
side
about in
to where Milwaukee.
Wisconsin.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. My
I believe so.
geography, I don't know
Michigan,
about that.
Wisconsin,
Let me see.
and
I'm gonna look it up right
Indianapolis.
now.
They're all like right next to each other. Ohio. They're all like within the vicinity of each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Bitch, I'm not
Wait,
trying to
can I,
buy a
can I, can
map.
I pull up a U.S. map?
That's what I'm saying. I went to it. It's telling me
Can
to
I,
buy a
can I,
map. I ain't trying to buy no map.
no, no,
I'm
no, no,
trying
no.
to see where
I got it. I got it up. I got it up. I got it up.
Wisconsin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wisconsin
So
and
Wisconsin,
Indiana. Yeah, they all like
Indiana.
around.
They're all around the same in the vicinity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all
Indiana is right
around
there.
nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Missouri's around there. Like who goes to
yeah.
Missouri?
Wisconsin, Minnesota, Wisconsin,
Kentucky.
Michigan, Ohio. Yeah, they're all like around there. But either way, I like the fact that they're butting into a rivalry because I feel like there's not a lot of rivalries.
It ain't.
There's not a lot of rivalries in basketball right now.
It's not at all. But I don't know about. I mean, it's only. I ain't gonna lie. It's only. I think it's more of like a David Goliath type of rivalry, nonstop thing going
Well,
on.
I
Because
mean, Indiana.
nobody believed that Indiana gonna be smoking Milwaukee. And guess what? They was beating them the whole series. They was beating them all
Yeah,
season,
all
smoking
season.
them. And it's just like they just can't. Milwaukee just don't move fast enough for them. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't know. It's good though, but at the end of the day, you know how I go. The star power thing always prevails, and that's the reason why Dame got in there in the first place. The star power prevails,
Yeah.
and Dame won it. And then he just won a 3-point contest. And we speaking about Dame and Hallie. Is this the turning point right here for Dame? Because Dame has been playing like absolute dog water, garbage, bath water,
I
all
mean, you
that.
would
And I
hope
don't mean
so.
a good I don't mean a good bath water like making a stallion bath water. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't mean that type of bath water.
I mean, you would hope so. I mean, I think
Because
that
I'm
I mean, usually after the All-Star break is when they kind of start turning it on, and usually having a good All-Star MVP, it tends to lead to good things. The last Milwaukee player, Giannis, who won the All-Star, they ended up winning the finals the same year. Not saying that it's going to be similar, but I mean, they need to turn it around. They're right currently they're third in the East, sitting behind the Cavs and the Celtics. They're like maybe a game and a half ahead of the Knicks right now. 76ers is right there too. And the Pacers are not too far behind either. They're probably like what 3.5 games behind them. So at the end of the day, like when you look at it from that perspective, yeah, they have to get everything in gear now because this is the stretch. What happens in these next 41 something games or 40 games is going to decide whether or not they're going to be in contention. Good night, Pop. So
yeah,
I don't know.
but we'll see how it
I
goes.
just don't
Because
have any
I
faith
think
in Milwaukee right now.
I don't neither, especially and I think it goes into the fact like 100%. because of how Dame is playing. Like at the end of the day, you could do a lot of things right, you could do a lot of things wrong. But once you're a point guard, the number one option on your team, as far as like being able to score or at all levels of floor, is playing. He's shooting as good from 3-point line as Giannis. Like, come
Something wrong with
on.
that.
That can't,
Something wrong
yeah,
with that.
exactly. That can't go ahead and win you anything. And then we already know their defense have been trickling downward. So
Yeah.
it's just like they don't give you a sense of confidence. Like
No.
like a team like, come on, the Cavaliers is above them
Yeah.
right now in the standings. The Cavaliers, who was missing like 3 players, you telling me you have a whole full staff and y'all can't close out games or be like, come on.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't have any faith in the Bucks. I think they're gonna keep falling in the standings. I don't think that they'll fall past maybe 6. But you look at the teams behind them right now, the Knicks. I think the Sixers are gonna fall a little bit too because they don't have Embiid. But the Pacers, the Heat, they're all gonna rise.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, I mean, you look at it from that perspective. I don't know. I don't see them getting past the first round currently, the way they are. But I mean, anything can happen. If Dame could use this performance in an All-Star game to propel him the rest of the season, yeah, they have a legitimate shot. I mean, Dame
I ain't
and
gonna
Giannis,
lie.
they have a legitimate shot. I still think that Boston is still going to be the team to beat, and I don't think that they have enough firepower for Boston. But Dame playing at an elite level kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's 100% facts. Because like you said, and you look at the standings, I don't care. We taking Philly out of it. Philly's gonna trickle down further down.
I'm taking.
So now
Philly
the
out.
next two teams is the Pacers and the Heat. We talk about a team who's been abusing them all season, and then a team who just beat them and been showing what they can do.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean this year. The Heat made them look terrible. I mean,
is the
Giannis
reason
ain't
why
even
they
have more.
fired their coach in the first place.
Bro, exactly. Like the Heat been doing them dirty for years. And it's just like even this season, they just smoked them something crazy where that fourth quarter, last 6 minutes, Giannis and Dame was on the bench.
Yeah.
I know because I had Giannis to go over. I had Giannis to go over for 25. He couldn't even get 25 points. So, come on. Those are the two teams that's looking in your bracket.
With the Nasus or whatever his name is.
The Nasus. Who cares? The brother that comes in. The bad brother.
The game's over when he
yeah, you know that. He's clapping for the ball. Like, give me the ball. Like, nobody would have gave you the ball in the first 5 minutes of the game. We're not giving you the ball in the last 5 minutes. I don't care if it's a blowout. You better work for this ball. Fuck you. I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah.
No. Yeah. No, I agree. I think the Bucks are gonna fall to about 5 or 6 before the season's over. And that's only if Dame doesn't start to show up. Dame has to play at an elite level. Giannis needs a point guard that's either going to defend at a high level or that's going to score at a high level. So one or the other. It'll be great if he could have both, but he's not going to get both from Dame. It's going to be scoring from Dame. Last year and the year before that, it was defense, and he got that from Drew. So, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough when you look at Giannis is. It's tough, man. If I was Giannis, I would have tried to nix that trade.
And
because as much as I would love to, I just felt that Dame wasn't a good fit in Milwaukee, and I still feel that way. I feel like Drew is the better fit in Milwaukee.
It's the thing too. I think the reason why one of the highest reasons like that it's really not working, and Always bring it back to 2K somehow. And some of the people we play with been making centers and stuff. And it's about the screening. Giannis sets selfish screens. He barely even sets the screen to really make an impact. He's a big physical guy. When it comes for him to run it down the lane, he's not scared to put his body, his body on the line. But when he goes out there and he sets screens for Dame, it's selfish screens, like he's ready to slip, he's ready to get to the basket and make a score instead of getting his point guard open and putting the defense in a real vulnerable situation. He just looking to score. So I think that's one of the things that they truly need to get into his head. Like, yo, set a real screen for me to shoot this three. Don't set no screen for you to roll. This screen is not for you. It's for me. If I get open, then you weak.
Yeah, because my thing is if you set that screen, if you slip early, then that is a selfish screen. You're expecting the ball because you're slipping early. Instead of setting a hard screen, setting the edge, and at that point in time, once you slip, all it takes is 2 or 3 times for Dame to be wide open and knock down a three for that pick and roll to now change over to you.
Play at the level of the screen or hedge that screen to get the ball out of Dame's hand.
And now you're going to have your path to the
exactly.
So yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but I mean, this again, it all comes down to coaching. What is the coach telling them to do out there? Is the coach like Doc just letting them play? Because I truly feel like when it comes to vets, Doc just lets them play. There's no real set rhythm. There's no set getting guys into a rhythm. There's no real magic.
I ain't gonna lie.
Frustration.
And like you said, it's about coaching, because the one thing, and I was just watching an interview about, I forgot who it was, but he was talking about how when he got to the NBA, the one thing that he really had to do was teach people how to play basketball. Like legit, he was like, these people didn't even know how to set screens. And it goes and shows just with this example of me just telling that, like, this guy, Giannis, does not know how to set a screen. Because when it comes to Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis, they're more effective when they set the screens. Why? Because these are the people who's going to put their bodies on the line to set those screens. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and set those real screens.
But the thing is with that, when they set the screen, there's no real threat. The only threat is Dame. Whereas when Giannis sets a screen, there's a double threat.
Yeah. No, it's more of a I see what you're saying as far as like these are two of the stars. But the thing with when Portis and Brooks sets the screen, it's more of a threat because it allows Dame to get more down. The thing, it allows Dame to get more downhill because you have two people who can actually pop. Once they pop out for that, it gives it an open lane, as opposed to when you got Giannis and he's not really setting the full screen.
He's not popping.
That's the thing. That's the thing. When you don't set that full screen, now your point guard doesn't have that three for them, like you said, to step up. The big man doesn't have to step up because you just run it right to him because you can't even pop or nothing. So it's like you got to really set. If you can't really shoot, you got to set a real screen. And that's the one thing I've seen and I've noticed. And I'm just like, that's why your pick and roll with them does not work.
Yeah.
I told you, if you got me in there, we win in the championship.
Before we move on, I just want to dispel this Shannon Sharp comment where he said that Dame has more range than Curry. No, he doesn't. No, Dame got range, but more range than Curry. Does Shannon go to the Chase Center and watch Curry before games? Like Curry don't go into the tunnel until he hits a trick shot. I just seen one the other day where he hit one from the tunnel to the other side, just straight shot
all the way, bro.
Wet,
going crazy.
Like, nah, there's no way. There's no way. Get Shannon out of here, bro. Shannon, stick to football. Stick to your football takes, man. I don't
That's
need
what
you.
I'm saying. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I hate it. I be watching, even when we be watching some of the shows, and like, what's the show that Shannon left? Undisputed.
With Skip.
Yeah, Undisputed. Now they
Undisputed,
got a
yeah.
whole panel of all football people,
And they
and
be
I
making
already
basketball
hate it.
takes. It's such cringe.
Bro, I already hate it because it's just like it seems like they don't know what they're talking about. I
Yeah,
even
they
hate
don't.
it because one of
They
the guys was on the other show, the KJM show. Keyshawn.
Keyshawn. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on that, and every time the basketball part came up, it's just like he was either lost, like you know what I mean? He would just make a general statements. It's like, I could tell you don't know what the hell is going on. You just making sports statements because you've been in a locker room before. So you could be like, oh, well, from his mindset, he might be this, but that's the football mindset.
Yeah,
Not a
it's different than
basketball
NBA
mindset. And I'm like, I understand you understand the locker room and like how some people might think it might, and it still could flow with basketball because
it
people are
translates,
people,
but not as much.
But at the end of the day, some things are different. And it's just like, I hate when I see football people talk about it. Like, I could get it, but come on.
That's like a football player. That's like a basketball player. Like, yeah, man, because baseball's like, nah, it's not. It's not the same. Like it's yeah, bro. I don't know. I mean, from coming from people like us who watch all sports. Well, you don't watch as much as like baseball and stuff like I do. But I mean, we played all these different sports growing up. So it's not like, what I'm saying, you have a general idea of what you're talking about because you played the sport. Whereas if somebody who's only played one sport for the majority of his entire life.
Sharp from the dirty South. The only thing he grew up was playing football. You could just tell.
That was it. That was it. He might have went to a few like baseball games and chilled it, but he wasn't there for the baseball.
But he wasn't there for baseball.
He was there for the shorties and the things. Like, I get it. He was in the bleachers, rapping to the shorties. I get it. But when you make these statements as an ex-football player, ex-Hall of Fame, multi-Super Bowl winning football player about Steph Curry, the greatest shooter that the NBA has ever seen and probably ever will see, like, it's crazy to me. It's beyond crazy. Don't get me wrong. I think that there's probably like 3 or 4 players in the league, Dame, and I could probably name like 2 or 3 more that has range. Trae Young. These guys can pull up and they could be deadly from anywhere, but not on any given night. You're not worried about them shooting from 60 feet out on any given night. When they get hot, yeah, all right, let me guard 90 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Steph, soon as the ball tips, you're in for it. You're in for it. He could score from any as soon as you inbound the ball, you have to guard him 90 feet. I'm not saying the same thing with Dame. Dame, he gets hot. Okay, yeah, let me guard up a little bit more. Let me pull up the shorts a little bit more.
And it's like
Steph,
it's like
nah, as soon as it tips, pause.
Yeah, and it's like, this is as soon as but it's like this is a bad season for you to even say something like this because Dame's playing horrible. That's one.
Going crazy.
And then we gotta go way back. I'm gonna take this back. Because you remember what Dame was saying here talking about, Steph is struggling because it ain't so easy to get those shots. Well, Dame, you on a better team. And you making it look like it ain't so easy to get those shots, no matter where you at.
And Steph is in a worse situation and he's getting all his shots.
And he's getting all his shots that he get. And you telling me, come on, Dame. Where's that now? I need to hear it. Because you in a championship level caliber team. And you playing worse than you ever did.
Do you think it's also a combination of him adjusting to being the number 2 after being the number 1 for so long? Because in my opinion, before you answer, in my opinion, he's still because I don't think it's clear 1-2 in Milwaukee, and they shouldn't approach it that way. It should be 1A, 1B. But I think that right now, in the way that the season has started, he's been the number 2. And I think that that's a hard adjustment for him because he's always been a number one. Not saying that they shouldn't do it that way, but not saying that they should either.
I ain't gonna lie. I think he's became a number two. At the beginning of the season, they was always talking Dame team, this, that, and the third. Yo, Dame's here. Yeah, we come on with the fans to everybody we know, but you know how it goes once a new guy comes in, especially a star caliber. You want them to be comfortable.
Miami, it was still Wade's team. I get it.
Yeah. Get your shots up, get the shots you want to get up. Don't worry about us. Play your game. And that's how they went about it. But guess what? Dame's been playing his game and he's playing horrible. And listen, I always bring it back to 2K, but you know I'm like halfway stardom on there. I'm like halfway to stardom. So when I'm playing with my dudes, they know like, yo, if we all playing horrible, just give me the ball and get the hell out of my way. I don't care who you is. You know what I mean? You could just pass, even if you create a shot for your own, and you just, hey, if I'm wide open, just pass it to me. I don't give a damn what you doing over there. Just get me the ball. I'm gonna make a shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I think it's become that, like to the point where it's like, yo, Dame, you just playing horrible. Let's get Giannis the ball. And I think that's high key what really happened in that Heat game.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where Dame wasn't playing too well. Giannis wasn't playing too well. Why was Giannis not playing too well? Because now everybody could key in on him because he has to get the ball. They're not doing anything creative. So you know how they used to do. They used to build the wall. They still building the wall. And you know, Miami's the best coach team out there. They got their X's and O's down packed. So when you get to them, you know you gotta be tight with yours.
Yep.
And it's just what's going on. So it's not like they sat there and said, yo, Dame, you're gonna just be number two. It's just his play dictated him to be a number two.
Facts.
As opposed to being number one. Once he start playing like who he can play like in the play, if they make the playoffs and he start playing, if this end of the season he start playing fantastic and make the playoffs, it's gonna be Dame's team. I don't care what anybody says, because he is the guy who could make those shots in the fourth and be absolutely dominant in creating shots.
Yeah.
But right now, you just got to get on the fucking back of Giannis and hope he has enough to, you know what I mean, enough physical tools to out hustle the next team and out dominate.
You know what's crazy? And I don't know why they haven't started doing this yet, but as a, and it could be coaching. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but it should start from Giannis. Giannis is the more physical specimen. He's the more physical player. He gets his offense going first. Everything else is going to trickle down. And that's usually what happens. It's a trickle down effect. If Steph is playing well, people could feed off of Steph. But when Steph can't get it going, what happens? The sum of the parts don't play as well as they probably could have if Steph is going on, because you're going to key into that player. But if everybody on the team is playing bad and you have your star players playing bad, it's going to be a bad and long night. So why not get Giannis going early? And this also comes into the defensive identity, because how do you get quick offense? How do you get easy points? Defense. You stop. If you get a couple of stops, get a couple of fast breaks, guess what? Giannis gets going. Now you're worried about making a mistake, because if they get on the break, Giannis is outrunning everybody. Long strides, 2-3 steps. It's a wrap. Now you could get everybody else involved. Okay, well, now we're keying in Giannis says his confidence is crazy right now. He feels like he could dunk on anybody. He's coming downhill every time. Giannis don't got to come downhill. As soon as the paint get packed, kicking it out. Guess who's open? Dame. Boom. Now Dame gets going. Now Middleton gets going. Now Lopez. It's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
But it all starts with coaching. If the coach is not implementing things to get easy points, then every single point that you're going to get is going to be hard to come by.
Yeah.
And it all starts on the defensive end too. Because if you can't get a stop and you can't create easy points off of getting a stop, because all it takes is a defensive rebound. Boom, gone. Like that's all it takes.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of those, you're good. You're good. Now you're up 9 points. But there's no clear. When you watch these Milwaukee games, do you see any set offense? Do you see anything that's helping them get easy points? Because in
No.
my opinion, every time I watch the Bucks, it feels it's hard watching them. And as hard as it is for them to get a bucket, it's hard to watch because
Yeah.
there's so many things that you could do to get easy points. I would mask
Mhm.
Giannis if you're gonna play half court offense. I would mask Giannis. I would keep
Yeah.
Giannis moving. I would keep him
Yeah.
moving. You don't know where he's coming, and
That's
you
a
don't know
fact.
which side he's gonna cut on. And I would
Setting
have him
some
cut
off ball.
straight back doors. He's stronger and
Yeah.
faster than whoever's gonna guard him out the corner.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was just gonna say. Like even like I was saying, they have a better time with Brook Lopez
Yep.
setting the screen. So I'm like, even if and I know teams be sitting here wanting to, have the full space, but guess what? Steph Curry was last year was playing with Draymond Green and Looney, and they still made it work because why? They set the screen, and guess what? That corner running hot, like how they do with Kuminga right now, how they did with
They had
Iguodala.
Gary Payton, Iguodala.
Yeah, they have all of them in that
Wiggins.
same. Yeah, all of that in that same role. That corner, I'm gonna space it until I can't space it no more. And then once that roll happens, just run with me. I'm gonna throw it up. You got it. That's it. And then with the thing about it is with Lopez, now Dame's actually getting to the basket. And if you come and I throw the ball up, Giannis is right there. Oh, ain't nobody else getting that. That's like throwing the ball to Wemby at this point. Nobody getting that, but
this is on Doc. This is on coaching. It's on coaching.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and end this with the All-Star weekend. I'm gonna give you 3 things I liked and 3 things I don't like, and then you give me 3 things you liked and 3 things you didn't like, and you can piggyback off of mine. But 3 things I did like. I like the Steph versus Sabrina. I think that was fantastic, and I think that the league should implement more stuff with the WNBA, especially because WNBA is fire and nobody watches it. Nobody comes to the games. WNBA is so fire.
Yeah, no.
If you implement the All-Star break and you have the WNBA implement some of their players and make it the skills challenge, you could implement the WNBA players, the 3-point contest.
Mhm.
Shoot, even at this point, even a dunk contest, lower the hoop and let's see what the ladies could do because the men can't do nothing. Jaylen Brown can't do nothing.
Hey.
Second thing I liked, I like them going back to the West versus East. I like that dynamic. I didn't really like the whole choosing, like, oh, we got captains and then we're gonna choose our team. It would work in a pickup game if y'all was actually going to play. If y'all was actually like, if this was an actual pickup game in a Y or at LA Fitness, and we're gonna pick up our players and we're really gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would work, and it would only work that way if they did it 5v5 and they got ran 21 and whoever won stays on. Like, that'd be fire too.
Yeah, and it only worked. Yeah, and I would say the NBA thought they had something with it, and it only worked because I think that was like it was even happened the season before
with
Kobe
Curry
passed away.
With Kobe passed away, and then they did, and Curry and
they did that.
James had first picks, I think, or it was
and it worked because that Kobe situation that happened, RIP.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But it added that rule to the end where they had to get the losing team had to get 24 and the winning team had to get 8 or something. Or it was the first to 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what made it competitive. It wasn't the fact that they chose teams.
It was the format.
Yes, it was the format. It wasn't the fact. So they thought they ran into something when they chose teams, so they kept it going. And they're like, Now they see after that, they was like, it wasn't even that. Let's just go back to East to West, give them their jerseys, at least have that jerseys and get money.
The third thing I liked was, oh man, this is tough because there was a lot of stuff I didn't like. I say the celebrity. I say the celebrity game. I feel like
Oh,
more
Lord.
people, more celebrities should. Because I mean, I like how fact like you got people that are not known to play basketball or not real basketball players, and they just
Yeah.
out here dunking crazy. Like Michael Parsons was just like he was yamming it, it's something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I think the celebrity game was cool. I want to see more actual celebrities that are actual hoopers, like Chris Brown, Quavo. I want to see like the
Yeah.
actual celebrities that really hoop get involved and really just go crazy on the national stage. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Three things I didn't like, obviously the 3-point contest. They got, I mean, the 3-point well, yeah, the 3-point contest too. I feel
Yeah.
like the 3-point contest is it's not what it used to be, because there's always like nowadays there's always like two people that are really not real 3-point shooters that really shouldn't be
That
in
get
there.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. The dunk contest gotta go. I either bring in the dudes on YouTube that's doing crazy creative dunks and put them on a stage and allow them, like, fly them out from their respective cities, put the jersey on them and have them do creative stuff and
Yeah.
judge that, and then give them the bag if they win, or get rid of the dunk contest altogether, because it's not creative, it's not fun. It hasn't been fun since the Levine versus Gordon. Yeah, that was the last fun one. And nowadays it's just like, if you get called to do it, like, you're just, Jaylen Brown looked like he was just happy to be there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, word, like I could join in, like, for real.
They gotta, yeah,
like
because they just gotta choose. Yeah, they gotta choose better dunkers, because at the end of the day, Jaylen Brown is a great in-game dunker.
In-game dunker, but
Like, he could dunk on
not
people,
somebody you
but
think of that's like,
he's
yo, let me see some crazy off the wall,
exactly.
Yeah, but in the game on a fast break, yeah, get a ball to Jaylen.
Yeah, the fast break, you put a defender in the paint, like, yeah, Brown, yeah, he could probably boom on him too, like, fantastic. But if you think of creative dunks, like, he don't even do it between the legs in the game regularly, like,
bro. The last creative, other than the Levine and Gordon, the last one is probably Nate Robinson, bro. Nate Robinson versus Dwight Howard. At least that was fun. It was the
it was like the battle. It was like a good battle.
Yeah, but it has not been fun. And then you got people that that could really dunk that don't enter into the dunk contest.
Yeah.
Like, I get it why LeBron don't want to do it now. He's mad old. I wouldn't want to do it. Yeah. My knees, my back. But bro,
but before, he should have been in there.
Come on, man.
But he's still also too not. I ain't gonna lie, like y'all say it, but he's not really a good dunker. I don't care.
He's not good. I probably would have
like he can dunk the ball.
Kobe or Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Like those,
like it's
like
not
when they entered the dunk contest, you knew that they was gonna dunk. It was gonna get crazy.
Like LeBron, I don't know. What's he gonna do? A one hand from try it from the 3-point line? That's the way you can impress me.
Yeah, like, it's like asking Giannis to be in a dunk contest. It's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
So it's just
the last thing I didn't like, but the All-Star game. I mean, honestly, like, let's keep it a buck. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. I'd much rather if they implement the celebrity game with the All-Star game and make it a pickup game. And even then, it will be a little bit more fun, because at least the celebrities they're gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Not the backtrack.
Funny.
Not the backtrack to you saying celebrities. And I meant to say, I don't know why I didn't say it when you was talking about the dunk contest. With having the YouTubers, them people, they even got their own dunk league going on. Like, because they come in All-Star Weekend as for celebrity, for the best of the best, you know what I mean? Supposedly, the people the fans want to see, like, integrate them into it, as far as like having a 2v2 dunk contest.
Gotta be fire too.
Where you could bring the YouTubers in, and it's just like, maybe, you know what I mean? They got to team up for a dunk somehow and make it something crazy, and then it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
So whoever gets
like,
because dunk contest, they have a YouTuber.
Yeah. Yeah, they could pick their YouTuber, their dunker, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I want him to
Yeah.
be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be
Somehow
fire. That'd be fire.
that's something they could
And
do
then the
because it's like at the
YouTuber
end
will
of the
win.
day,
It's the bag.
yeah,
That'd be
at the
fire.
end of the day, we know the All-Star weekend is for the all-star players that people want to see. So it's like these YouTubers, not a lot of people know them, and all it is
But it'll be
exposure for
fun
the
though. It'll be
dunkers.
fun.
It
Yeah, I mean,
would be fun for
make it
us
fun.
as people who want to watch, but as far as the league goes and promoting their players
Yeah,
and all
I
of
get you.
that,
I get you.
that's
Yeah.
where it's like, yo, why they can't just bring them in off the street and be like, all right, go ahead. This is the biggest platform. We have no games going on that everybody has to watch this game for the weekend.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want the eyes on our players. So it's like if you
I
could
get
bring them in as a 2v2 dunk contest, then it's like, all right, that works for
Yeah, that'd be
everybody.
fire. That'd be fire.
But
All right,
yeah,
3
as
things you
far as
liked and 3 things you didn't.
as far as the things that I liked, I'm gonna start with, you don't laugh, that I got to watch some games without having to really watch the games. Because you know, now that I'm, I'll be on this podcast and everything.
Yeah.
When I watch the game, I'll be looking at stuff
Yeah,
more
yeah.
so than I normally
You're
would
looking at
have.
the tape more than looking to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then so it's
I feel the
like
same
I'll
way.
give it that.
Now when I watch it,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like that. It's almost like you're taking notes.
Like, yeah, so it's like that's one thing you get to like. And I ain't gonna lie, Rising Star. I'm glad that they added that a few years back. I always like the Rising Star.
I forgot all about it. They play hard, bro. They want to win.
Exactly.
They want to win, man. I like that the sophomores versus the rooks. I love all that, bro. They want to win.
Exactly. So I always like the Rising Star. So Rising Star every year. That's my thing. And one more thing, it's like I'm struggling with this because it's not much.
It's not much. I mean, to be honest, I think the highlight for me was the Steph versus Sabrina. That was the highlight. For me.
Yeah. That's something I could sit there and I like that for the most part. Steph still went out there and beat everybody in the 3-point contest, technically. Because he's 29. Dame had 26. Like, come on, you would have put him in there. Like, come on, like, Anyway,
it's
Dame.
Tough. It's tough because I feel like he could have probably took the gauntlet. He could have probably went into the 3-point contest, beat all the men.
Yeah, and it's like you said, man. Like they do need to implement the women more because I even have a sweater. So I was at my dealer class. My blackjack, not drug dealer, y'all. And I had the sweater on. So one of the girls who came in, they had an interview session. One of the girls came in and was like, "Oh, yeah, do you actually watch WNBA? You know how that goes,
Fans,
I'm
bro.
like, I like back champion. Come on, man. Yeah, I watched the WNBA. So it's just like, you just because some people really don't watch it.
Facts.
So it's just like I watch it, but I don't know about that dunk contest thing, man. Because
Nah, I was just joking.
But I was making a joke too. I love it, but I also do make the jokes about it because at the end of the day, it's just fun. I make fun about the NBA. It's just I like to enjoy it. And I was like, yeah, they gotta lower them rims. They gotta bring it. Well, let's see the dunk contest. Let's see a 1v1 versus Brittany Griner versus Boogie. You know what I mean? They would have a crazy weekend, but I'm like, yo, that's the reason, hey, look, we gotta admit there's different muscle fibers are different between men and women, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. But I mean, I still would like to see them implement it some way, somehow.
Yeah, no, I would too, because it's like you could still put them in the skills challenge.
You got the 3-point contest. I mean, even if you want to do the Rising Stars type thing, or maybe even like implement some women, and I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
Logistics, all of that good stuff. And then like things that I agreed with you on that Steph Curry and the women's bringing thing. I think that was fantastic. And the thing I hated about it, I hated that there was no actual basketball on.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie, that weekend is just like, yo, what am I gonna watch? Like, it's
Yeah,
7
and I don't like
o'clock.
watching college
What
basketball
you
because I'll be
know?
feeling like it's lopsided. It's not real
Yeah,
exciting.
like it's always if they got a number next to their name, most likely they're gonna win. If they're a
Yeah,
higher number, most likely that team's gonna win. That's all you
yeah,
gotta bet on. You know what I mean? You see the bets, you be like, oh,
fact.
that team's 15. This team is unranked. This 15 team probably gonna win.
I mean, well, UConn just got upset yesterday, but
Yeah, that
other than that,
happens.
yeah,
That happens.
yeah,
But
it
you know what
happened.
I mean for the most part.
Yeah,
Uh the thing I hated, like you said, that dunk contest, and I hated the fact that Jacob Toppin had a fantastic dunk. And you know,
and it
the
was
judges hated on him. Yeah. So you know that name recognition stuff, that's still up in the live, you know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
like I hate that about it. Um, and what else is there really to hate? Like,
I mean,
I don't
just
know.
the
I ain't
weekend.
gonna lie. Just the weekend in general. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not really into the All-Star weekend thing. That's why even when you was like, yo, you want to talk about it? I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? You probably tired from work. I really don't care too much about the All-Star like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm ready to get
I ain't
back, man.
stressing it. We could wait. Yeah. Wait to some actual
Basketball's come back
basketball.
tomorrow, so I mean, I'm
Yeah.
hyped.
I don't even try to sugarcoat it and hide it, y'all. I ain't that type of person.
All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get up out of here so we could both get on
Damn,
some
it's
2K.
been an hour
See us
already.
later.
You already know. Yeah, but you already know the vibes, man. Like, share, sub. I came in like I was gonna do it. You already know the
Yeah,
vibe.
bro.
Like,
I was
share,
like,
sub.
I was ready to play the music and everything. I thought we was out of here.
Your, yeah, your
You pump
boys is
faking right
signing
now,
out,
man.
man. Did you hit the button? I'm gonna hit the button.
Nah, but